talk about. You've got no idea what I found out the weekend about what's happening in NPL Victoria. Check it out. Hey, Felix, you're going to dance, Carlos, you're going to sway with me. Don't be shy. Here we go. The cup of life, this is the one. Now is the time, don't ever stop. We should have known, gotta be strong. We should have known, right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it, Carlos. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life, Matildas? No way. I'm so sorry. What's going on? Do you really want to wait? Tell me right now, people. Let's do it for you. We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. Oh my God, guys, it was history on the weekend. Boy, was it history. We'd like to welcome now Carlos Bielli. Thank you for joining us right now, Carlos, right now from Planet Football. Carlos, honestly.
Well, thank you.
Honestly, do they want the cup of life like the song says, Carlos? We've got about 10 minutes to talk about this, and we've got a massive issue, of course, NPL Victoria. But let me say, the complete opposites what we spoke about on Saturday exactly what happened, Carlos.
Look, I think what the final was a great spectacle for women's football. 72,000 spectators at Stadium Australia, a record in anyone's books. The game was going to be decided as to which team took their chances. Japan had one chance, they took it beautifully, and we had three chances. Caitlin Ford, unfortunately, could not convert any of the three chances. So we were not clinical enough and ruthless enough in front of goal. Then towards the end, the Japanese goalkeeper made this amazing save from Alana Kennedy's header that on any other day it would have gone in. So we lost the second major tournament on home soil, but we were very good. We did the nation proud, but we were not ruthless enough with the three clear chances that we had, that Caitlin Ford had, to put the game beyond doubt in the first half. And then everyone knew that the Japanese striker was absolutely deadly with a half turn and shooting from distance. And the technique that she showed, that Hamona showed in turning on a 5-cent piece and hitting that amazing curling shot past Mackenziano. There was nothing that Mackenziano could have done. And is Japan a worthy winners? Now we need to regroup, rebuild, and learn the lessons that we need to be more ruthless in front of goal. And the Socceroos also struggle with the same issues, which is a lethal striker. That Sam Kerr did very well. She created most of the three chances for Caitlin Ford. However, she didn't have much opportunities to score. And Japan's were the winners. And if you don't score, you don't win games. And we had three chances in the first half. And then, of course, in the second half, we threw everything at Japan. Japan defended extremely well in numbers, and they were the winners of the 2026 Asian Cup, Harry.
Yeah, let me just say, Carlos, the crispness of the Japanese girls' passing was absolutely, you could see the difference. You could actually see the difference, the way they were playing the girls, their girls compared to our girls. I mean, it was just, and that goal that you said was, I couldn't believe that goal. I said, my God, what was that? That was a rocket. No, I don't think any men's goalkeeper could actually save that either. There's no way. The position that was, she hit it, it was very hard to save. But let me say, Montemuro once again started making late changes. Remember we spoke about this a few days ago? continue to make the late changes. That doesn't make sense to me. If you want to actually be there, you want to be there into extra time, he should have brought them much earlier, Carlos. We talked about
Look,
it.
the team as a whole was performing very well in the second half, was putting Japan under pressure. The front three were very mobile. They were working very hard for each other. The midfield was also working as well as you expected to be. Kira Cooney Cross was very working very well through the middle. Alana Kennedy. So the question was, or would have been, who do you take off? You got five substitutions. Do you take? I would have taken a defender off, going to a flat three, in a back three, and maybe put an extra striker. Alex Shidiak remains a mystery why
Yes.
she wasn't given a chance to show what she can do. Uh, and he made two changes in the 65th minute. One was injury to Claire Hunt. Winona Heatley came on. The other was Haley Russell. Haley Russell provided energy and width down the flanks. And then towards the end, we had Emily Van Egmond, and forgot what the second one was. But look, the bottom line is, regardless where Montemuro made five changes or not, and through the roll the dice, Japan were the better team throughout. And there's lessons to be learned for Australian football. Japan is not an overnight football sensation. It is 30 to 40 years in the making, from from the grassroots and up. They have a football identity and a curriculum that they stick to it, and it produces players. Montemuro is on record. Insane is right. We need to define who we are as a football nation, how we're going to play, and then the 17s, the 20s, 23s, and the senior players will play the same way. So, look, Japan are worthy winners. We now we look forward to the World Cup next year, and in 3 weeks' time, there's the next women's FIFA window at the end of the month, and I'm hoping that the established stars are not called up for this FIFA window to be held. Looks like in Kenya, um, but or Europe, that there are people who didn't get a chance to impress, like Alex Shidia, are given the opportunity of two games to shine and show that they're capable of doing what they need to do, which is a job for the team if called upon.
Let me just say the other point is that how long can these girls go? Could we see half the team change next year for the Women's World Cup? That's the other thing. Are we going to see a change? Because a lot of those girls are going to be starting to get to the point where they're getting a little older, they're getting a little bit slower. Is he going to be putting trialling other girls in the next few months? I think he should, Carlos.
Well, Samko 32,
Yes.
Katrina Gori 31, Alana Kennedy, I believe, is 29, going on to 30. So Samko probably has next year's World Cup. Katrina Gori will probably is such a beautiful athlete that she probably will be capable of competing in next year's World Cup in Brazil. So Ellie Carpenter will be 25.
Yeah,
You
she's
would
fine.
have thought that Ellie Carpenter has been around forever.
She's
Because
she's another.
she would be 25. She would be the oldest team player in that squad. But Sam Kerr, Katrina Gorry, Caitlin Ford, 29, going to 30. Of course, after next year's World Cup. And I'm sure that Caitlin Ford will want to go to the World Cup next year in Brazil, because she was gutted. She was devastated that she has three chances. And yes, on one she lost her footing, the other one she shot straight at the goalkeeper. She was as gutted as anyone else, and I felt that we win as a team and we lose as a team. But she
Mm.
took those three missed chances with a lot of. Um, she felt
Mhm.
responsible for not winning the Asian Cup. But next year is just around the corner. There is a couple of FIFA windows. It's time for John Montemura to obviously give the stat the early carpenters of this world a break from international football and the travelling they have endured, and allow other people to regenerate the squad because past next year, Samko with 33,
Mm.
Katrina Gorrigo on 32, Alana Kennedy 30, 31, and Evelyn Van Ekman, she's been there for 16 years. She's 32 as
Oh my
well.
God.
So, the team has to be managed, carefully managed, so that it is rejuvenated in a orderly fashion. You can't just throw all the established players out of the window and bring the young ones. So it'd be a orderly transition for the next generation to take up the reins.
Let me just say one thing before we go to the NPL stuff that I want to talk about tonight is that Ford, that goal, that mistake by the goalkeeper, he went straight to. I don't know how she could have. I know the angle was difficult, but that was the biggest opportunity. Was that the goalkeeper made that mistake? She was on the side there. She miskicked it, went to the right hand. So we can't talk about that, guys. It's a loss. It's a loss. They can only improve at the World Cup and try and win the World Cup. I'd like to say some issue that I was actually in the last few weeks, and it came to a fruition. Let's use that, a fruition. Yes, it came true yesterday, where I'm just sort of like talking about NPL Victoria. NPL Victoria is probably the trendsetter of all the NPLs throughout the country. It is the biggest competition outside of the A-League. Everybody wants to come and play. The players want to play from interstate, internationally, whatever they come there and they play. I just want to say one thing about some of the clubs. I'm not going to mention the clubs, but they need to actually step up here, because let me just say one thing. They're charging $20 to get to the games now. You would expect that some of these clubs who don't have any seating at the club, it's no seating, no stadium kind of little boutique stand, at least. Yesterday was a disgrace, massive disgrace, Carlos, charging $20, standing up around the fence. I can understand the other ground wasn't utilised, but still there's not enough seating on that side. And I've been seeing, it is a disgrace to me. If you don't have a stadium type ground with a little, at least a 500-seater stand, it's a disgrace, because you're charging $20 now. And my point is this: if you can't be on that ground, your facilities aren't good enough, go and hire another one. Because I do know clubs that haven't got the facilities, go and hire a ground. There's a stand there, stands, and they sit down and play. Carlos, that's not looking after your members, not looking after the supporters of the other team playing on the day. How does this work anymore? We're trying to lift the profile of the game. The members aren't being looked after at some clubs. And, of course, opposition people who turn up to the games, they won't come back again. They won't come back, Carlos. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I could only speak for Football New South
Yes,
Wales.
please.
And in NPL, even the smallest club like Spear FC has metal seating with a kind of canopy
No.
on one end, a canopy that seats about 400 to 500 people. That's all they ever get, 100, 200. But for any NPL club to play in NPL, which is in essence the second division of Australian football, not to have even the most basic metal seating on a scaffolding, so you could actually bring a cushion, sit there and watch the game in comfort. It is outrageous. And obviously Football Victoria, I'm sure they have benchmarks that clubs who gain promotion to NPL must have and comply with, but not to have at least enough seating for 100 patrons or fans. It is outrageous. If people wish to stand and hug the fence, that's their choice. But I, at 63, I do not want to stand for 90 minutes against the fence. I normally take my little cushion or and I'll sit at Spear FC. They've got these metal 4 tier setting, and right in the middle they have a metal setting. There's 5 tiers, right? This is where the NPL TV sits, right? So that is basic setting. It's not luxurious, but you don't have to stand. So I think there's a lot of answers need to be a lot of questions to be asked. What are the benchmarks that you need to have if you are in MPL, which is in essence
A criteria.
a criteria. Criteria.
If you be promoted, you can only be promoted if you have the facilities for the people. I think that's the way it should
Well,
go.
they have to be the basic criteria will be a decent playing surface, well looked after, that the players can play football. Then minimum 200 capacity of seating, say 200 metal or temporary. I mean, Rockdale, for example, when the old football stadium was being renovated, they bought the plastic seats.
Yes,
And they took it
yes.
to Rockdale and
Thank
they
you.
put them on concrete, right?
I was going to say the same
So-
thing, Carlos. The same thing they should be doing here. If they knew they couldn't play on their normal, even the normal ground yesterday was just, there's nothing there anyway. Just a little hill they're going to stand up on. Really, put some plastic chairs, like you said. Give people an opportunity to sit down and watch the games. But no, I had to bring my own seat. I'd bring my own seat, Carlos. I was the only one with my own seat, and I'm looking at everybody stand up, and there's people there in their 70s, in their 60s, and I couldn't believe it. They were walking off the ground, sitting in their cars and coming back, having a break and coming back again. That's ridiculous.
Nah,
These
it's
no,
not.
Go on.
It's not a good look for Football Victoria, who is trying to be professional, and it's a second division to Australian football, where many players have gone on to be signed by A-League clubs, and many players who can no longer perform, like Funeroli, because of the physicality of the A-League, they go and play for Avondale, and they do a great job for Avondale and encourage juniors to play for Avondale, and they teach the juniors how it's done.
Exactly. And you saw yourself at the final last year when you were down at Heidelberg. They had the facilities. They had the seating. We were there. We did the show. You saw a lot of seating in that big stand that was there, Carlos. Fair enough. There is stands. Some clubs have got them, but some of these clubs have been over 50 years, Carlos, 50 years, and they don't have a stand. Over 50 years old and they still can't do anything right. Really? Believe me, you've been around for over 50 years old, some of you clubs, and you still don't have a comfort for the members. How are the members supposed to be treated? The members, you don't treat your members properly, and you don't give them the seating or the comfort for the members. What's going on? What's happening here? 50 years and over, Carlos.
Well, it's up to Football Victoria to set the criteria, for the clubs to follow the criteria, and the criteria is not followed, then there have to be consequences. It may well be that you go and play or hire another ground nearby.
Thank you.
That meets the basic criteria. Otherwise,
yes.
it's a laughing stock.
It is. And let me say, some clubs that I do know, in MPL, NPL2 or VPL1 they call it, for instance, I can mention one club, which is Brunswick Juventus now. They can't play on their ground. They've got no seating. So what do? They go to Faulkner. The Faulkner the complex there, where they've got a massive stand where they can sit down and watch a game, beautiful lighting and everything. So they do it. So what's the difference between the other clubs not wanting to do it? I don't understand.
Well,
something's got to happen here.
Football Victoria needs to come, look at what's happened and tell the clubs this is not good enough. Another thing that we need to remember, Harry, is that these games, you could be in South Australia, you could be in London watching MPL TV. And the football is great. But what impression do we give someone interstate, say in South Australia, Western Australia, watching Avondale with Bruno Funeroli playing in a ground that has no facilities? We look like hillbillies. So there's also the perception that we're not professional enough, that we don't care about the fans, that whatever we throw at the fans, because we're football tragics, we'll take it. And that's not good enough.
No.
We need to have the very basics and a plan to build upon the basics to move the club into greater pastures or greater heights.
I could mention clubs like South Melbourne, Lakeside. I could mention Heidelberg. I could mention Preston with a beautiful stand they've got there, and and they've got seating on the other side too, which is fantastic. I mean, I could mention Melbourne Knights. What a great stadium, Melbourne Knights. There are more clubs out there with stands and things. I mean, there is so many that have been there for so many years. You've done nothing. Have you ever contacted your council for help or anything? Do something, because number one, it's the people that make the game, Carlos. Is that the people make the game? You look after the people, they won't come to you. Is that right?
Well, it's us who paid the $20 to walk
Exactly.
through. Then we go to the canteen. We get a souvlaki or a chavapi. We buy a drink. On average, any football fan will spend $50 per game, and if you take your children, $100 wouldn't be a figure that it would be unreasonable to have spent taking your family, 2 children, to the game, hot dog, drink, coffee. There's $30, $20. That's $50 spent into the club's coffers. So the clubs needs to start, being more smart. Look after source. I know funding is difficult. Everything costs money, but it's time to be creative. I mean, there's many clubs that Parramatta Melita, when they build the stadium, they were literally, from what they were selling bricks. You could buy a brick, and you could have a name on the brick or something, and people bought bricks, and they helped the club, and then the members themselves went and literally built the stadium at Parramatta Melita at Sefton, and that's just history. The members got together, they pitched in, and they did it. So, not to have any sitting, it is outrageous. And Football Victoria needs to explain why a club in MPL, the second division of Australian football, is allowed to play with such basic or archaic facilities.
Exactly, Carlos. Oh, thank you tonight, of course. Thank you for joining me tonight. But don't forget, guys, right on 7 o'clock, the second part of the show comes on with Kenny Wilson, Gary Ward, and Mr. Parker, who is the stats man as well. So, Carlos, I'd like to thank you for coming on tonight. We'll see you again next week, and we hope we've made a difference. We've made a difference tonight, and somebody's listening. So, thank you, Carlos. See you guys at 7 o'clock. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Always. We'll chat next week.
Well, guys, welcome to our second part of the show right now. Of course, Football This is live once more. You've been waiting for it. We've got the Premier League review with the experts, guys. Let's party right now. Let's sing this song. It's a Cup of Life. A pity the Matildas didn't win the Cup of Life. But anyway, next time is the World Cup next year. Check it out. Everybody sway. Sway, boys. Sway. Everybody sway. I know they are. Here we go. Hey! The Cup of Life. This is the one. Now is the time. Don't ever stop. We should've known. Gotta be strong. We should've known. Right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it, Graham. I see it in your eyes. You want the Cup of Life. Not the keys. Here, you're gonna get it there, Gary. Do you really want it, Kenny? Do we want it? The Premier League, it's coming right up right now. We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. Boy, oh boy, what games they were. What I saw was absolutely amazing, guys. Right now, we got Gary Ward. We got Graham Parker and Kenny Wilson live with us tonight to review the games. Thank you, boys, for joining us tonight. Thank you. Oh, the crowd's going berserk. You should hear the crowd, mate. You can't hear them. They're right in front of me. I press the button and they always turn up. That's the best thing about this. But anyway, guys, right now, what great games did I see? What great games did I see? Of course, I just can't believe what I saw. I saw the game yesterday between, of course, who's screaming there? It's me, is it? Oh, sorry, guys, it's me. I've got it right. It's all gone. But let me just say, guys, those two games I saw absolutely magic. On Saturday night, watching Sunderland versus Liverpool. Oh my God, what a game that was!
It's Newcastle.
Brighton, Liverpool, mate. Newcastle played Sunderland.
That's right. I got it wrong, guys. I'm losing it tonight. I'm the soccer psycho. What do you expect? That's the problem. But let me just say right now, honestly, Kenny, that game on Saturday night. Oh God, guys, honestly, Brighton and of course Liverpool. Wow, what a game that was. And to say that Danny Welbeck is too old to play the game, and James Milner, unbelievable, mate. Those guys, I think, they talk about age going into the World Cup, but I tell you what, Kenny, if I understand they're saying he's 35, Danny Welbeck is 35, but man, honestly, I'd have him on the bench in the World Cup squad. Kenny?
Yeah, mate. Unfortunately, England's got a dearth of strikers, and that will mean that won't happen. But you're right. I mean, James Milner's an absolute machine.
Unbelievable.
Absolute machine. I mean, he whacked two Liverpool players in the first 5 or 6 minutes. One of them ended up going off. Right?
I saw that.
He went off, and then. I'm watching it and I'm thinking it was definitely a hangover from the Galatasaray game for Liverpool, because that was an almighty effort that they did to qualify. So they were definitely, but as we said before, and I think we mentioned it, Brighton are a really good side.
Oh, they are.
They're great to watch. They're hard to beat. And, I think we're just getting to that back end of the season, where teams are starting to run out of gas. They're getting a bit quiet. They're getting a bit tired, and there's some funny results. Someone will be able to tell me, and probably Graham will be able to tell me. Did the Newcastle Sunderland game end up get abandoned?
No, it went ahead. It went on to head it to St James's Park.
Yes, I saw that.
It was a sellout.
Well, they reckon. You saw what happened at the beginning of the game, yeah?
I didn't see what happened.
Okay, all right, okay. Well,
a traffic jam. Traffic jam, wasn't it?
No. They attacked the team bus.
What?
Team bus.
Jeez.
And then what happened? The game started, and there was bedlam. And apparently, Sunderland players get racially abused, and the referee took them off the pitch.
They paused the game.
The game got abandoned.
The game got paused.
Oh, that's why at the end of the game. What happened with the African English players and the African players walking up to them when he scored that goal? Ah, now I know why.
I tried to get clarity today, because the report I saw said that the referee abandoned the match.
Gee.
And then when I saw the game, it said full time. Now, so I'm not quite sure. I tried to check TalkSport this morning, but they haven't reviewed it. So, but that was what the original report was, that the referee actually abandoned the game because the racial abuse was so bad.
And that's why at the end of the game,
the thing. I mean, the game was, and Sunderland. Talking about the actual game itself. I mean, Sunderland deserved to win it. I thought, and
what a game!
Unbelievable.
Newcastle. Why they can't hold the ball when it's kind of hold it? They parry. They seem to parry everything now. And I'm just going, goodness me, how could you not hold that? It's like the gift. I mean, Sunderland deserved to win, just like Brighton deserved to win.
Yes.
I mean, you're talking well back before. I mean, when Man United let McTominay go, I was as disappointed when they let Welbeck go. I don't know how many years ago that was. But I loved Welbeck at Man United, and I thought, why would you let him go? Mm-hmm. He could score blindfolded. That's the way he is, And McTominay, look, he's gone to Napoli, Player of the Year and everything else. So, I thought I watched Brighton. I love it. Like you say, Kenny, I like watching Brighton, and they deserve to win, and Sunderland deserve to win. I mean, there's no two ways about it. That's.
I think what's happened, the top teams are running out of gas. Chelsea, when you look at the top teams, or when I say the top teams, obviously Arsenal, Man City were playing in the cup final, but Chelsea, Liverpool, probably Man United has a couple of draws now. They're not quite.
They drew,
yeah, 2 draws. So they're sort of running out of gas a little bit at the back end of the season, I think. And then the mid-tier table teams are still. Sorry.
I don't think Man United are. I've got to tell you, at 1-0 up, and that was a penalty, the first one. It was so clearly a penalty, the second one. And, you know, they say, well, you still got to go from one end of the pitch to the other. But Man United were waiting for VAR. They were waiting for the referee to say, stop the game. And they weren't concentrating. And, you know, 30 seconds later, they conceded at the other end. But that should have been 2-0, and that game would have been all over. I thought Man United played really well and deserved to win that game.
Let me.
I think the reality is with Man United, they've pinched a couple of games as well when they shouldn't have won. So it swings and roundabouts a little bit. And I like Man United. I mean, and I think the coach will get the job. But the way the league's going, the Chelsea getting beat, Liverpool getting beat. You know, you look at it and you go, they're all tripping into the top 4, top 5. You know, luckily they've all got a buffer. You know, because Newcastle lost. If they had won, they would have been breathing down their necks. Now, the teams that you look at and you think, oh, okay, Brentford are still knocking in wins. You know?
Yeah, they are.
So you never know. I mean, there's 7 games left. I mean, the way we're playing at Chelsea, I mean, oh, my God.
Gentlemen, I want to go to the games right now. Of course, you guys are mentioning Bournemouth and Manchester United. It's 2-2, of course. We spoke about, and as I said, Brighton and Liverpool. Oh my God, is that coach on? They're saying he's finished. He's done. He's going to get done. They're going to leave me by this is what they're saying. Is it stop? What's his stop? What's his name?
Mate, don't wipe them off for the Champions League. That was a huge result midweek against Galatasaray. It's a huge result. No, you don't go to Galatasaray and win like that.
Oh, I know what it's like in Turkey. That's a
hellhole there.
Oh, mate,
that was a huge result.
Do you know what their supporters do? Don't you? When they come to the bus, they give it to them like you wouldn't believe, mate. They're crazy.
Well, you just need to listen to Graham Souness. He says it's the most aggressive environment you'll ever see.
It's madness. It's madness. And of course, we're talking. Go on.
You've got mates that are Liverpool supporters. We all do.
Yeah.
And midweek, they were singing the praises of the team and Klopp, not Klopp, and whatever his name is, Slot. And then yesterday, he get rid of him. He's this, he's that. I'm going, well, 3 days ago, you were all over him like a rash, and now today, you know, for goodness sake, you know, they're a tough bunch to make happy, aren't they? The Liverpool supporters.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boys, I just want to go now. We just spoke about Liverpool and Brighton, of course. Gee, that was a game and a half. Of course, Fulham 3, Burnley 1. I mean, there's one there. Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 0. Wow.
No, mate.
Wow.
Mate, you've got the wrong results.
Have I got the wrong results, have I, boys?
Man City didn't play. Man City played in the cup final against Arsenal.
Okay, I got the wrong results, have I?
Yeah, I watched the game. It was actually a really good game, by the way.
Okay.
The two of them were very good. Man City were the better team, but it was a really good cup final. One of the best Carabao Cup finals I've seen in a while.
Okay. So
second half, Man City were very, very good. Second half. Oh, yeah. They could have scored 5.
Yeah, it was a good. You know, visually, it was technically a really good game.
So what was the score? What was the score then? If it's, I've got this thing here. I don't know what they've done here on the site.
City and Crystal Palace was postponed because of the Carabao Cup.
Okay. Well, that's why that says 0-0 on there. Okay. So let me just say, Everton versus Chelsea. Now we've got the Chelsea boys here. I'm going to start with Kenny first. What is going on here?
Mate, I mean, it just sums the season up. You know, we get a couple of wins, we draw 2, we lose 1, we draw 1, we lose 1, we win 2. It sums the season up. We're knocked out. We're out the Champions League. It comes back to what me and Graham were saying earlier on. You can't win major competitions with 21 and 22-year-olds. You know,
exactly right.
You need 4 or 5 experienced players in your team. You know, You need a Milners, and you need a few players like that just to solidify. You know, the nucleus. I like goalkeeper, centre half, centre midfield, centre forward. I like that.
Okay.
That backbone of a team being experienced, and then all the young boys can. And Man United did that brilliantly for years. You know, with Souness, Dalglish, Hansen, Grobbler. You know, when you look at a lot, Man United did it. You know, consistently with Bruce and Keane. and Cole and York. You know, and then the young boys, you know, you got Giggs and Beckham, and, you know,
Rooney.
and Rooney. You surround the young ones with that backbone, and you get there. But we're just a little bit. We're very light on experience. Very light.
We're lacking in maturity. I think I saw the average age of the Everton team was like 29. And the average age of the Chelsea team was like about 21, 22.
Yeah, 21, 22.
Okay. And yet we had over 60% possession of the ball of the whole game.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get don't tell me this game. Everton. Go on, Gary.
Everton, if you think of their last few games, I mean, Man United beat them 1-0 at Goodison Park, and the truth be known that Everton they deserved at least a draw out of that game. And they had like 14 corners and they couldn't convert. And so they were going to take someone to the cleaners sooner or later, and it happened to be Chelsea. And I think that they like David Moyes said at the weekend, you know, why didn't Chelsea get the fine? Why didn't they get the points deduction for everything that happened under Abramovich and and so on and so on? I think there was because Everton got deducted points.
They did, yeah.
And Chelsea didn't. And I think he stirred the boys up and said, you know, let's just show them what we're all about. And look, I think Everton deserved to win, but they had that sort of win coming. You could see they were building up to something like a 3-0 to someone, happened to be Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, the difference between the points deductions was the teams that owned up to it got automatic deductions. The teams that never owned up to it went to fight it. And that's what happened. Basically, what Everton shouldn't have done under that old owner, it was under when the Italian boy was the coach. You know, they breached the fair play with the spend, right? And instead of saying, "Well, let's fight it and let it drag on," they just put their hand up, and so did I think Newcastle. Them, who else? There was one other team, and got automatic deductions. Yeah. Whereas Man City, Man United, Chelsea. And there was one other team, I forget who it was, have basically fought it. You know, they've basically said, no. And the great thing, and I know I mentioned it before, when you sponsor yourself at the club, like a la Man City, with Emirates Airlines sponsoring Man City, well, they can sponsor them for whatever figure they want. They can say 380 million.
Yep.
When really it should be 180 million. They're getting away with murder. And the same sort of thing happened at Chelsea in the early days, but and Man United have been getting away with it too, you know. So you know they found a loophole in the system to be able to do it to get past that financial fair play, because all the charges at Man City, 123, I think 120 of them has already been dropped.
Okay, boys, I want to get to the next game. I want to go to the next game here right now. Leeds and Brentford. Don't tell me that was called off. Leeds and Brentford was on.
No.
Draw 0-0.
0-0.
Okay, I just want to go. I just want to go now again to Newcastle and Sunderland. Oh my God! What you're telling me, Kenny, about they had to, and they were saying on TV when I was watching it. Oh, there's a 15. There's a traffic jam. There's a traffic jam as well. That was a cover up. Then that was a cover up.
No, they stopped the game for about 3 or 4 minutes in the second half because some of the Sunderland fans were being discriminatory against. Trying to pronounce his name. Anyway, they stopped it for about 2 or 3 minutes. It was a local Tyne and Weir derby, so it was always going to be a bit fiery in the terraces,
mate. But
there's no room for discrimination. And
well, it's been a while. I mean, I know they've already played each other once, but it's been a while since Sunderland and Newcastle have been in the same division.
Gee.
So
yes.
Yeah. So it's sort of a bit fresh. But what I saw, it was unacceptable. I mean, the Sunderland bus was arriving and they were throwing bottles at it.
Jesus,
just the world's gone mad. I mean, we're going through
back to the football. I mean, how on earth could Sunderland give away that first goal, trying to play it out from the back?
Yes.
You know. You look at it going, are you kidding?
Yeah, that mistake.
Are you kidding?
What a mistake that was.
You know,
saw that.
In a big northeast England derby like that with a full crowd and Sunderland, Newcastle, the the Geordie,
Oh, yes.
and you're going to try and play a silly ball there and a silly ball. So it was a gift. How about giving your opposition a gift?
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
Gordon kicked it.
crazy.
Yeah, Gordon, that's right. Yeah. So, mate, Sunderland too, mate. I tell you what, I wonder how they got out of there, Kenny. I wonder how they got out of there with that bus. I'd like to know too. Winning that game. There's more to come about this racism. There's more to come from the FA for sure. Let me say, Aston Villa 2, West Ham 0. Same colours. If you look at them, they're the same.
Dear.
They wear the same colours. Well, what can you do? The same.
Yeah, West Ham won the white away colours.
Can't believe it. They do wear the same colours. Okay, so they're now. Well, here we go, boys. Here we go. Spurs 0, Nottingham Forest 3. Here we go. Kenny, I mean, that's the end of Spurs?
I still, you know, my gut feeling still is it's going to be Leeds or West Ham that will go down. I just think they'll pull a rabbit out of the hat. Tottenham, I've got feeling 7 games. There's still 21 points to play for. You know, and West Ham's still third bottom. So I know the fixtures don't really favour Spurs that well, but Leeds' fixtures are not much better. You know, it's going to be really tight. It's going to be
13 games without a win for Spurs.
Jesus.
Yep.
Oh, that guy's on tender hooks again. I think Tudor.
He ain't going anywhere now, mate. There's only 7 games. There's only 7.
But Spurs look flat. They really look flat. They look like Chelsea did, actually. I thought Chelsea were very...
See, both of them just coming out of Champions League midweek as well. It doesn't help, right?
But Forest just have been playing, 120 minutes on Thursday night, weren't they?
Yeah, but they're playing in Europa.
Yep,
it's not quite the intensity. I am not making excuses, but it's not quite the intensity.
It wasn't a normal 90 minutes either. It was 120.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Okay, I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to the table. Gary, do you want to say something?
Yeah, Spurs just lack discipline and mentality. They were always second to the ball. They started quite well. They probably could have scored given a bit of luck, but all of a sudden then it just became, I'm second to the ball. I'm not closing down. Oh, was that his or was it his? Like, no one seemed to want to take responsibility. I thought when Forest scored 1, I thought they'll probably score 2 or 3 more because it just looked like that was going to be the way it was going to be. And
I think what we're forgetting about, Forest finished 4th last year. Spurs were 15th.
Jeez.
So, in actual fact, that's the result it should have been. I mean, in actual fact, we shouldn't be expecting Spurs with the current squad, the way they've been playing in the last 18 months, to beat Forest. Because Forest went within a hair's breadth of making Champions League last year. Within a hair's breadth.
But that's
really...
this season, Kenny. That's not now. That's not the last 8 to 10 games for Forest. I mean, you can only play as good as your last game stuff. And, that was a 6-pointer. And if ever Tottenham had the juice in their veins to get out there and take those points, it was so disappointing.
Yeah.
And Forest
but if you laid the Forest squad up against the Spurs squad up, who would you rather have?
I'd have the Forest squad all day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm going to Graham. I'm going now to the. I'm going to the table, mate. What a funny table this is. There's some numbers here that are here now. Well, gee, I mean, Arsenal first, of course, 70 points. Manchester City 61. My God, they're now 9.
They've got a game,
and they've got a game in hand as well.
Okay, and so we've got Manchester United still third. So what we got: Arsenal 70, Manchester City 61. We got Manchester United 55. Aston Villa, they're still there. Aston Villa is still there, 54. Liverpool, 49.
They had a good win on the weekend.
Yeah, the good one. That was a good win for them.
And of course,
they've been a bit hot and cold. That was a good one for them.
And boys, let me tell you right now, Liverpool 49 in 5th spot, Chelsea 48. That could change this week. It could change. You guys could be in the 5. Brentford.
It'll be not this week. It'll be the following week.
Okay.
International break.
International break.
FA Cup. Bit of FA Cup going on.
We're going to be doing some stuff next week about that too. So let me just say, Liverpool 49, 5th, 6th, Chelsea 48, Brentford 46, Everton 46, Fulham 44, Brighton in 10th spot, 43. Sunderland 40. Oh, these guys are safe. They're safe. Sunderland, Newcastle 42. Bournemouth 42. Crystal Palace 39. Leeds are 33.
33. Okay.
33.
33, yeah.
We've got 16th spot here. Nottingham Forest 32. Ooh, gee, it's getting closer. Spurs 17th at 30 points. Oh, hello, 1 point. They are 1 point, which means West Ham at 29. That they're 18th spot, and Spurs in 17th spot. 30 points. Burnley 20, and Wolves. We know what's going on with them, so that's the thing. Gee, I tell you what. Spurs and West Ham. This could change, Kenny. I mean, this could change this week.
Any of them. I mean, Leeds.
It's tough.
I think it'll be between Leeds, West Ham, and Spurs. I think Forest will dig themselves out of trouble. I think they're just too solid. Leeds, I don't know whether they're scoring enough goals. You know, they need a couple of wins at the 7 just to kick them along. I think you need 39 points to be safe.
So we're talking here.
I think 39 will get you over the line.
Well, Crystal Palace is 39 right now. Crystal Palace are 39.
Yeah,
so
but they've got a game in hand as well.
There you go.
Because they were supposed to play
there you go.
Man City.
There you go.
I know they're playing Man City, but they've got 39. Anybody from 39 up is safe.
Yep.
I think, you know, when you look at, I mean, do you see West Ham, you know, winning 3 or 4 at the 7? Probably not. Do you see Leeds winning 4 at the 7? Probably not. A couple of draws there, or whatever. So it'll be a bit of a shamash. And we've, you know, like Spurs have got the issue where second last game of the season they've got to play Chelsea.
Okay.
You know.
So we've got week 32. Week 32, everybody out there, this is it, guys. It's getting closer to the end of the season. What's going to happen here is going to be amazing. So Graham, we're going to do the scores, of course. Last week, did anybody who had the most wins last week? Before we get to the games next week,
No one
picked nothing.
No one had a
really,
result last week.
nothing at all. Jeez,
But the Sancho last week, some of the results. Aye.
Mate,
I want to say something about Wolves. I saw a chart. If you took the last 10 games from the bottom of the league, not the first half of the season, the last 10 games, Wolves would be, if they had played the first 2/3 of the season like they played the last third of the season, they wouldn't even be in the relegation zone.
Okay.
Funny you said that. I just saw something that the Titanic had sailed in the summer. It wasn't a song.
Oh, gee, boys. I tell you what now. This is what you're talking about, Wolves, are you? You're talking about Wolves. You're talking about Saturday the 11th. Saturday 11th of April. You believe this? They're playing.
West Ham versus Wolves.
Yeah, West Ham versus Wolves. You said that, Gary, and here they are right here, right in front of me.
I'll put that down as a draw, 1-1.
Well, where's it at?
West Ham.
New West Ham.
Yeah, Wolves are capable of anything at the moment because they're playing with freedom. They don't care. They just say, let's just show you what we've got. So anything is possible where Wolves are concerned, and it's been proven to be right. So, at least a draw there.
Okay, so there you go.
1-1.
You're saying 1-1?
It'll be goal.
I think
2-2.
Okay.
2-2. Okay.
Arsenal.
I reckon Wolves will win 2-1.
Okay. So if we go now, Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Well, I mean, we're going to have to say Arsenal's too far ahead.
I'm going to have a punt and say 1-1.
Really?
Yep.
Bournemouth. Gary?
1-0.
Just imagine if Arsenal have started to get the shakes, the collywobbles.
Here we go again.
Still Spurs have won a trophy and Arsenal haven't for I don't know how many years. I mean, no matter what, you're in it for trophies. You're not in it to be runners-up. And I just kind of feel that Arsenal, if they don't win this game, oh, my goodness me, they'll start to whatever. So I think Arsenal will win 2-1.
Okay. Graham?
I reckon it'll be maybe 2-2.
Okay, boys. The next game is Brentford versus Everton, Sunday the 12th of April.
That's another draw for me, 1-1.
Gary?
I think
as much as Brentford are great to watch, really hard to beat at home, I've got it in for Everton right now. I think Everton are going to win that game 2-1.
Graham?
I agree. I think Everton might win it. I like Brentford though, but
jeez. Well, another one on the 12th of April is Burnley versus Brighton. Here we go. Brighton could
Brighton
be in.
will beat them.
After last week. After last week, Drew. Unbelievable.
Brighton 3-0.
Gary?
yeah, I reckon 2-0 to Brighton.
Okay.
Gary? Closer than that. Be one goal in. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
Do you trust the next game? Anybody trust Liverpool versus Fulham? Anything? Gee.
I think Liverpool got up 2-1.
What do you think? Oh, this is a hard one, Gary, I can imagine.
No, I just can't see Fulham winning at Anfield. I just can't. And no matter what, Liverpool will be wanting to spank somebody, and I think they'll spank Fulham. I'll go 3-1 Liverpool.
Graham?
I reckon it might go 2-2.
Okay, next game, and there's a lot of these games on the Sunday, the 12th. Gee, we've got here.
This is in 2 weeks. Harry, this is in 2 weeks' time.
I know.
Next week is our international bye.
Exactly. So what's going to happen here now is we've got Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Wow, here we go. The way Newcastle are.
I'm going to go Newcastle 2-1.
I think Crystal Palace are hard to beat at home, so I'll go Crystal Palace 2-1. I just don't think Newcastle have got the consistency at the moment. Losing at home to Sunderland, you'll never get more, desire to want to win a local derby like that, and they didn't. And heads seem to drop. No, I know it's 2 weeks' time, but I'll go the other way on that one.
Okay.
I think Palace will win 1-0.
Okay. Well, this is one game that Nottingham Forest must win again if they want to stay up. Of course, they're playing Aston Villa. So Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa. Kenny, here you
go. Villa 1-0 for me.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, you see, these Midlands derbies, Villa and Nottingham Forest. I mean, they've only got to sort of travel 30 minutes to each other's ground, and there'll be a lot of, it'll be full. I don't know. I think Forest might get up and win that.
Graham?
I reckon it might be 2-2.
Okay. Well, here's one. A surprise.
Lots of goals. What was the score, Gary? Do you reckon?
3-2. There'll be some goals.
Okay. So we're gonna actually go right now to Sunderland versus Spurs. Oh, Jesus. I
think Spurs will win this 2-1.
It's funny you should say that. I think Spurs will win it 2-1.
Really? Okay. So
I think Sunderland will win it 2-1.
So we're going here Monday. What a great number, the 13th. Monday the 13th. Well, boys, it's time for you guys to step up at Chelsea, because you're playing Manchester City. Wow, Kenny.
Oh, mate, I think 2-1 Man City.
Really?
Unfortunately,
you're going against him. Gee.
Mate, they're not. Mate, the way Man City are playing at the moment, the way we're playing, mate, we won't. We just don't look as though we could contain them. I just don't think we could.
And Gary, Chelsea, Manchester City.
Yeah, City will win that 4-1.
Graham?
Okay, well, I'm hoping that we beat Port Vale, because if we lose at that game, well, then I'm not sure where we're going to go for the rest of the season.
I played well. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, that's what I'm worried about.
Well, this is.
I think we're going to win 1-0. We've beaten them before. We'll beat them again.
Do we say goodbye to Leeds in this last game? Manchester United, the Tuesday the 14th. Manchester United versus Leeds.
Man United wins 2-0 for me.
Gary?
I'm the same, 2-0, Man United.
Yeah, I think 1-0.
Okay. Now,
let's see what happens.
Now, what I want to, we've got a few minutes to go. I want to talk about that game again. Jesus. Liverpool, was it Liverpool and last weekend, Liverpool and Brighton. I just can't believe. I just cannot believe the players. I'll say it again. I want to talk about this game, Kenny. These guys at Brighton, Welbeck. I'm just so surprised he's scoring goals at 35. and getting in positions where he can get goals. I mean, what about it? What about the England team? Would you be Would you be that bloody Tuchel?
Mate, I will say this: the first goal was a free kick. He pushes the defender in the back quite clearly. I don't know why VAR never pulled it up. I mean, it went to the back post, and he was 2 hands in his back. He pushed the defender, and then he headed it in. It was a free kick all day long. Why VAR never picked it up is beyond me.
But I mean,
I scratch my head.
Can't the players make a protest and say we want you? They can't do that.
They went straight to the ref, and they replayed it a million times. You see quite clearly. As he jumps, he pushes the defender in the back.
Shit. And
the defender falls forward and he gets a free header. You know, you can't do that in the box. Sorry, you can't. You know.
So Kenny, I looked at that a few times, and I agree with you up to a point. But the defender wasn't a small guy. He was quite a big lad, and he had the aerial height, and he let himself get manoeuvred by the. You know, firstly, Welbeck's up his backside basically, and he's leaning on him and everything else. And when that ball comes across, a little nudge, and he's up there. But the defender should have pushed him back. I mean, not let him get in that position. Don't be dominated by a forward. He was just doing his job, Welbeck. I mean,
he checked behind him, Gary, and he quite clearly, if that was during play and Welbeck pushed that player, you get a yellow card. You can't put your hands on play. I mean, I look at it and I go, I'm watching it, and the guy, you're right, the defender never defended well. He let Welbeck check behind him, and he could have done that, But as he went to jump, you can see the Liverpool defenders going, hang on a sec, because he quite clearly shoves them, he pushes them. I just think.
Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it.
You see it?
Yeah, I just saw it. He's back. He's back, Kenny. Yeah. You could see that too. Yeah. You could see it. Yeah.
I just think. But
right.
Look, it happens. It happens in all the games. But it's quite ironic that VAR just don't get it right a lot of times.
I mean, Man United are looking at their game against Bournemouth, and they want to take legal action. They want the game to be replayed and all that. It's not going to happen. I get that, but he was clearly knocked off the ball in the box, and the referee is right there. It's not as though the ref was a mile away. He's just looking at it going, can I give another penalty? Well, you should have done, mate. Instead, they broke away and they scored down the other end. But Harry Maguire did no more than knock him off balance as well, and he gets a red card. And then
straight red.
He got straight red. Well, what was the difference between that and what happened to Anand in the box? I mean, for me, I just thought Man United would have been 2 up. They'd have ended up winning that 4-0.
Yeah.
So that's why I still think that they've not been. They dropped a point. They dropped a couple of points, but they're still playing. They're still dominating teams. They dominated Bournemouth. They should have been 2 or 3 up before it was 2-1. But anyway, I understand what you're saying.
But
do you want to talk about the Matildas just for a second?
Yes, Gary. We've got a few minutes to do that. So the thing, go on, Gary.
I was just disappointed because Sam Kerr was playing number 9, and she was in the box. They were pushing her and shoving her and giving her no room. And you got Kennedy, who's tall, and they weren't big defenders. I'm thinking, well, and Sam Kerr does well when she's running at players. Why didn't he drop her back into a number 10, and get her to pick up the ball earlier and go at the defence? She's got a great shot on her, but she was getting bullied around in the box. And I'm going, why aren't you changing this up?
I went to all the Matildas games, the Sydney one, and I was at the game the other night. Up until the Japan game, I thought we were very average and very lucky to qualify.
I agree.
But Sam Kerr, and I'm not a huge Sam Kerr fan, I must say, but she's had a fantastic tournament. And the other night, mate, the runs she was making, all the goals, all the opportunities that we got, the 3 opportunities that she should have scored. No Sam Kerr, but Caitlin Ford. I mean, they were 3 easy. To the point my daughter said to me, Dad, you would have scored them.
Unbelievable.
The 3 runs she made diagonally, Sam Kerr, to get the ball and put the ball in was amazing. And her work rate and her effort was fantastic.
I agree.
I've got to say, hands down, the Matildas were by miles the better team the other night. Japan were very disciplined. They looked a bit flat, but looking at Japan going into the game, I thought we were going to get smashed. But I heard you say earlier on, Harry, about the goal. I still think the goalie should have got it, mate.
She should have got it, Kenny. Yes.
I thought she should have got it.
She should have.
I thought she could go for line. I know it was a good shot, but But the three chances,
I know,
the three great chances were the one where the Japanese goalkeeper passed it straight to her.
Forward, yeah, that's right.
Flip it on your right foot and just
crazy.
Straight foot it. She blasted it.
She blasted. It went the wrong. It went the wrong way. I know. It went the wrong way.
It was an engine room, wasn't she, Carpenter?
Yes.
She was unbelievable. She worked her butt off. She was unbelievable.
She was.
As a team, that was the pinnacle performance tonight. They played out the skin because they haven't been playing. I mean, as I say, I've been live at all the games.
Exactly.
Games, and they've been average. Not the whole team. Kerr's been great. Mary Fowler's been very average. She had a good game the other night.
She came off too. She came off, Kenny.
Watch her. But if you watch her, mate, she's not running quite. The injury she got was quite major.
Still got it.
It was cruciate. Medial ligament.
That's right.
You see her, she's not quite running the same way she was.
You can only run. She can run straight.
She had a good game. She had a good game the other night. She did.
With that, Kenny, with that, just with that injury, right? When you have that injury, you can't turn as you used to turn. You can run straight, but try and turn. Try and turn. You could do it again. So she's just still got it.
But her strength is she's got a beautiful left peg, and her distribution is beautiful. But we just never really wide left and wide right sort of got the penetration that we were getting in the previous games. That's where our strength seemed to be. But she had the three chances she had. They were gold and opportunities. And
exactly.
She worked extremely hard, and she ran it. She ran herself into the ground. But the difference between winning games like that is the three chances, because they weren't even just good chances; they were excellent chances.
And I want to say to Gary, Montemuro, making those late changes when he should have had somebody on minutes before even those changes. You should have had him on at least 15, 20, at least 30 minutes before. Why is he making late changes? What is this? Late changes again.
Well, I would have made those changes at half time.
Thank you. Yes.
But seriously, I would have done. And they, the Matildas deserved to get something out of that game. And it was, I felt really disappointed for them because, but I thought that the way that they were set up wasn't right. Because Sam Kerr did have a great game, but she was getting pulled and tugged and pushed and shoved, and she wasn't getting the space that she likes to work in. That's why I thought, why not drop her back? Harry Kane, if Harry Kane's number 9, Harry Kane will become a number 10 or a number 7. He would just drop himself back to get the ball, to create chances and come in late and everything else. If you're not going to mark me out of the game, I'm going to find some space. And a defender will always keep their shape. Well, I'm not going to go and mark in man to man. So you create that extra player in the midfield. And, that's what I would have done. I'd have had Sam Kerr drop back for the second half and pick up the ball and really start, because they're going to be going, she's coming at us. You know what she's like. If she's within 20, 30 metres, she'll unleash a shot.
That's right. And
that's what she does.
And Kenny, Alana Kennedy, that header, she just that little bit harder would have been past that goal kick.
Mate, that was her poorest game of the tournament.
Yes, it was. You're right.
Yeah, she had a great previous 3 games. I mean, she sort of dragged us through the tournament, to be honest.
She did.
But she was actually, for how big and how strong she wasn't getting close enough to the Japanese.
To have a shot.
She was allowing the Japanese to dictate. And that's the coach to a certain extent. He should have got the midfield players a lot closer and a lot tighter.
100%.
And I think, I looked at it and I went, she was quite quiet. And then Mary Fowler was a bit better. She sort of stepped up Alana Kennedy dropped off a little bit. But we have so many, we've got so many sort of buzzing bees. They seem to. What I don't like about it is how many times we play the ball backwards. We go forward 25 metres, then pass it back. It's my pet hate. And especially when you've got wide players. I want to see my wide players take the fullback on. If the fullback beats you, he beats you. Right? Take him on 10 times. If you get past him twice, the chances are you'll get a goal.
That's right.
You go at the fullback and then you turn around and play it, 20 yards back or inside and try and, it's a little bit mechanical. I was listening to the coach talking about structure and moving forward, how they're going to do this. See, I totally disagree with all that nonsense they're talking about. Here's the problem I've got. If you have your under 17s, your under 19s, and your under 20s playing a certain way, what happens if in the teams you don't have good wingers, but you've got two good centre forwards? What do? What you make players wingers that are no wingers? You don't turn players into robots. This mechanical thing about we're going to play 4-3-3 from under 17s, under 19s, under 21s. It's absolute nonsense.
How many times in the English Premier League, just last weekend, did a winger get to the byline, get right to the byline and cut the ball back, let alone drop the ball into the box early? It seems to me I've seen more balls go into the box this year in the EPL in the last 5 or 6 for sure. But, it's, this getting down the wing and coming back and then giving it back to a midfielder that goes down the other side and does the same. I'm just going, you had so many opportunities to knock that ball into the box. The keeper spills it. The defender miscontrols it. The forwards are coming in. I mean, it's called the danger area for a reason. Knock it in there, for goodness sake, and they didn't do it.
I mean, can you imagine during the great Man United era and the great Liverpool era, even the great Chelsea era, them saying well, we're going to play 4-3-3, but we're 4-4-2 because we've got Beckham and Giggs right and left midfield. We've got Scholes and Keane in the middle, and then we'll get York and Cole up front, right? I mean, they become 4-2-4 going forward. We don't go become 4-3-3. Now, my argument with imagine a coach coming to you and you're a quality player and you're a midfield player and saying, well, we don't have a space for you in the midfield because we've been told we've got to play 4-3-3, so I'm going to try to play you in a right wing. That's nonsense to me. Absolute nonsense.
Can I just say one thing about him? He reminds me of the last coach, actually, the way he's actually doing things.
Oh, don't know if he can get that bad.
I tell you what, if he doesn't change his stuff, this guy, I tell you what, to me, I would have preferred a international coach. Look at the Japanese. They had a Danish coach. Geez, he was bloody good. He was really good, the Danish coach. He was fantastic.
Bill Shankly once said you put round pegs in round holes. Right?
Okay.
So you put round pegs in round holes. You look at your players, and wherever the players are, you build the team round their strengths.
Yes.
You don't create a strength that you don't have and say, well, I'm going to make you a left winger, I'm going to make you a right winger. Quality super players naturally find their position.
Yes.
Tell me something, guys. Did you enjoy Sydney FC and Newcastle yesterday?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. Yes.
I couldn't take my eyes off it. I loved it. I really, and just the 94th minute winner. Wow.
Boys,
I mean, Newcastle. They're considering they've got no money, and most of the boys are very young. They've got some quality players.
They've done very well.
They're actually a good side to watch.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
Well, only a few rounds left in the A-League, but let's just say, everyone tonight, thank you for joining us on Footballers. Kenny's got to have his dinner, Kenny. We can't go any further than that, mate.
You're right.
That's what I'm trying to say. You want to talk?
I've just heard the ding of my big.
And you're just telling me to keep. You're telling me to keep going. You're the one telling me to keep going, Kenny. We'd like to say thank you to. We'd like to say thank you to everyone watching right now, guys. Of course, we covered the Premier League. What shocks this week again? Your team's going to win in a couple of weeks' time. Let's see what happens. We may be looking at the FA Cup next week and looking at those teams as well and what's going on there as well, guys. So please, thank you for joining us on Football S. A bit of music to get out with you right now as well. The Cup of Life. So thanks for joining on, boys. Thank you, boys, for joining us. Thanks for joining us on Football S, guys. Don't forget, we'll be back again next Monday at 7 p.m. Carlos will be on on at 6. But anyway, we've split the show in 2, guys. Thank you for joining us right now. If you want to sing along with me, we missed the cup. The Matildas are the winner, but they're in the World Cup anyway. There you go. Hup. Check it out. Felix, Gary, you can dance with me if you want.
Bye.
Swear, guys, sway. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, you guys, on Football List. See you next Monday. Thank you, guys. Thank you.